Hello, everybody. I was making my bed, but then I decided to jump in it because I was listening to Christine Randall, and let me explain something to you. Do you know what's going on here? Because I'm going to bring this to you, and I want you to see what you hear. Hold on. Now, can I bring this forward and let it hit play? Preparing everybody for the next lockdown, right? I'm gonna go when I say this, but keep those people on that boat. Keep them on that boat. Oh my God. Hold on. I'm telling you right now, if you don't know what's going on, you will. Because I don't know about you, but this totally freaked me out. I'm going to try this again. Give me 1 second. All right. We're going to try this again. This is kind of hard to do when you're... Okay, here we go. Here we go. Y'all ready? Preparing everybody for the next lockdown, right? I'm going to when I say this, but keep those people on that boat. Keep them on that boat. Can we stay in lockdown forever this time? Don't even try to prep us. All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity. Do you understand that? Do you know what they're talking about? Because I'm fixing to tell you what they're talking about, okay? I know there's people on that boat, but I'm telling them now, you've got to keep that damn boat. The CDC, you need to keep that boat there. You need to keep that boat right there where it's at, because we cannot take another one. Oh my God. This is so crazy. You know, before we get down to this, no, this is educational purposes. Everything I say, or anything that I've done my research. So please, this is my opinion only. Everything is alleged. So I'm going to ask you to please try to find this on your own. Oh my. I don't know, but I've been feeling, a lot going on up here with all this stuff going on. But I'm going to say this, for the love of God, I'm going to pray for everybody on that boat. Now, when you talk about a cruise ship, usually you're talking about them big old 7-tiered ships and stuff you go on, like the Carnival Cruise or whatever that is, where you have them 5-foot slides and you have all that stuff going on. Well, there's a virus called the Hunter virus. I think that's the Hunter virus, and it's pronounced the Huntrovirus. And it has a specific strain that can spread from person to person. And it's mostly found in Chile and Argentina. So please keep that in mind. Okay? Because the Hunter virus is on this ship right now affecting people. And it is ending people's lives. It is literally spreading from one place to the other. They're on this expedition boat. It has I think 180, maybe max 200 people that can be on it. I think it has 125 maybe on it, but then they have the help and all that. But this is a huge boat. It has a dining area. It has, they get off to the Atlantic, the Antarctica. They go to the Chiles. They go to Honduras. They go to all these places that people will probably never see unless you go on this expedition boat, okay? I know. I look her up. I'm cleaning house right now. But this, I thought, needed some attention. So let's make this some attention. Right now, the big thing is... was it the Andes virus? I don't think it's the Andes virus, okay? Because they've had boats on there, and they're docked. I think they're at the MV Honduras. That's the name of the boat, MV Honduras. and you have a guy on there pleading for his, to let them out. They're more than headlines. They're people with families and lives, and I get that. But if you get off that boat, you can affect literally anybody that you're standing there. Now, I want you to understand that these people have been getting in and off these boats, in and off these boats, in and off these boats. So how many people have they already affected? And you do know that that's what it is, because at first nobody knew what was happening, but this 70-year-old gentleman that was on this boat suddenly got sick, ups, and dies. And then his wife started falling sick. And right after that, they flew her off to South Africa, I think, to a hospital there, and she died. Now there's a third person on this ship that's sick. Now, they're running out of any kind of medical system they have there. They're not, they don't have, the facility really to take care of something like that. So, what they've been doing is, I think, who sent out the, one of the countries, anyway, let me tell you about the cruise ship. Okay, the MV Honduras is a popular expedition ship. Okay, it has huge cruises that, like we see here in, right here in America. When you think about, like I told you, the Royal Caribbean or anywhere, and being in Florida, a cruise ship is on every coast, so you can be 2 hours, you could be 6 hours, but you're not too far away from getting on a cruise ship. Now, this ship was built in 2019, and it is operated by Ocean Wide, a Dutch company. And it is specifically built for the Antarctica expeditions. And I'm not sure, but I think it says it carries up to 200 passengers. So please check that. It's not like these 500 tiers that we have. When we have the float and slides. We have these party rooms, whatever. But this is like a floating expedition base camp. But somewhere, getting on and off that ship, somebody had contracted the Honduras virus. I think the Hunter virus. Now, that's what Gene Wildman's wife passed from? Do you remember that not too long ago? And this is caused for rat droppings, rat urine, being bit by but usually you can get it like that, but no. This here is from breathing in. So you can spend thousands, $10,000. This is like going on that stupid ship to see the Titanic. I mean, I know it's probably beautiful. It's one of them bucket list trips, something you might want to do at the end of your time, whatever. I don't know. But this is no longer a trip. This is becoming a 35-day cruise ship. But you're talking about a bunch of people on a smaller ship and closer quarters. And I can tell you now, the first time someone got sick and passed, I'd be wanting to know what it was. The second time the person passed, I'd want to know what it was. But the third time someone got sick, I would be like buckled down in I'd be grabbing some Clorox and going straight to my cabin. I would not move. Okay? I just would. This is why I don't get on boats, people. Because when something happens, you can't get off. You just can't. No, I do not want to be trapped with a bunch of people on a cruise ship. I mean, there's just too much out there. Too much out there. These people go to remote islands. There's very limited medical care. There's a lot of excursions that go on, meaning that this ship stops a lot over 35 days. It goes to different places. People, oh my God, and especially remote places. We don't know what's on there. What if you come back with some kind of vampire virus? I'm just saying, you don't know. What's going on here? I mean, the MV Honduras route, I think, goes from all the way, started on April 1st, and it was en route to the Atlantic Expedition, which means that it included places like the Antarctica and those, what are those, sub Antarctica islands and other isolated locations. And I'm sure I won't never see them because I'm not going to get on a ship and go over there. So that's not going to happen. I have a very adventurous spirit, but I don't have one like that. And right now, these people think they're living the dream. And you go with your family, your friends, your coworkers. I don't know, but no, you just can't drive there. So you got to take a boat. So, but it seems to me their ship just took a wrong turn because at the end of March, and the beginning of April, they left. They went seeing all these different islands. They're exploring from bump, bump, bump. They're meeting people. They're talking to the locals. And again, all I can think about, they're getting in and off that boat, in and off that boat. And I'm just thinking, oh my God. But on the 11th of April, that's when that 70-year-old man suddenly got sick. And he got unalive. And all the workers and everything are probably thinking because of his age, they didn't think anything about it. But then his wife got sick. Okay? The Andes hunter virus is mostly found in Chile and Argentina. So I'm going to put this in simple terms. This is virus that you usually would get from rodents, again, especially from their droppings or their urine or their saliva. And it is passed through the air. Then this man the man's wife passed away, and they found out she had the hunter virus. Now the third person come in, and then they found out that third person also had it. And I'm trying to find the little statement on that hunter virus, the viral cruise voyage. I know there's something on it. I've just got to find it. And then when I do, I'm going to see what I can do about putting it on here. But these people are docked. And they don't know what to do with them. They have no idea what to do. So if y'all see any mouse droppings, go buy you some Clorox wipes and pick it up. And do not smell it. Wear a mask or whatever, because you don't know. I mean, this is in Mexico too. And we had, was it 1 or 2 here in the States that popped open. I know for sure Gene Hackman's wife. I believe they did. But it attacks the lungs. And it can stay dormant for 5 weeks. Up to 5 weeks, y'all. So for 5 weeks, you can think you're okay. And then it starts coming on like the flu. Like, you start getting the runny nose. You start getting a sore throat. You start getting a cough. You start getting a fever. And then, guess what? It's all over. I mean, for totally fine now, y'all, from 1 to 5 weeks. Now, that's a long dormant time. I mean, and then it completely will hit you. And when it hits you hard. Your lungs start to fill up. Your breathing becomes harder. And your heart starts beating. And it turns very seriously, very quick. And the fatality rate of this virus is 40 to 50% fatal. So y'all are getting the drift there. It is 40 to 50% fatal. I mean, you can, oh Lord, your chest gets tight. Oh my Lord. I know. Imagine what this could do to somebody. I really do. It's like the Black Plague. The Black Plague that came through here. And oh no. But this virus has got in Argentina, gets on the cruise ship. And they're weeks sitting. I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking they're sitting at the bars. They're in the lounges. They're D-ing around here. And how many has already been affected on that ship? And I know. I feel for them. Don't think I don't for 1 minute. But the issue with the CDC is because it is so remote out there that it's very creepy to think about it. But the CB19, you remember when they were saying that it lays dormant in your system for 10 days? And everybody was taking 10 days off of work, 10 days out of school, 10 days away from everybody in existence, and you're staying hidden because 10 days. Now, 10 days from 5 weeks. And you had like a 20% or 10%, maybe 5 to 10% of fatality on that. on the CB19 hit. This one, you have 50% of going. It's over. Don't. Slip it. It's gone. And then, boom, out of nowhere, you get sick and you just pass away. Now, and I'm sitting here wondering, how long did his body stay on that ship? I know they docked on the 24th, so in St. Helens. So, and I know they did flow her to Johannesburg in South Africa, but I do know they both passed away. And the whole time, people are still, I just want to understand, people are still getting on and off this ship. Still at no point has anyone stopped them or even wondered why this couple passed away. I don't know. I don't know. No. No. Now it's escalated. Now, 11:27, the ship reaches the Ascension Island. And now at this point, there's another very sick passenger. And they end up taking that person off the ship. And this is, I guess, when they finally confirmed that this is the Hunter virus. And this person also passes away. So now you've got 3 people that are unalive. And all these passengers have been freely getting, I can't get over the off and on, just continuing things regular. Now, this third person, they definitely know what it is. This is where you buckle down, and this is where you say everybody's being quarantined right now. Because it can be weeks before you feel sick. I mean, you can be walking around totally fine right now and not know you're infected. It's very hard to control because people do not even realize that they have it yet. So, meanwhile, people that have been on this ship for over a month has been exposed and they don't even know it. They could all be sick right now on that boat. Now, I do know that it's docked. And the people on the ship right now, they're deciding they don't know what to do. Now, these guys, I mean, y'all imagine what we went through with the COVID stuff, right? I mean, we all went to lockdown. But now they're on this ship, they can contain it. You know? Now, I feel so bad for these people stuck on this ship. I really do. I mean, all I can tell them is you need to grab you some hot tea, go look out one of the port windows, do what you got to do to survive, but you cannot come here. And I'm sorry, you just can't. You can't do it. No, this is why I do not do the ships. I mean, I know it's not a jail, and it don't feel like prison, but it's got to feel a little helpless being confined. You know, you're stuck in this room with nothing to do. I do know they bring you food, like they did on other ships when they got, you know, but the Hunter virus and the employees, oh my God, I feel so sorry for the employees because they still got to make sure these people are maintained. I mean, who's taking care of the employees? Oh my God, it's got to be a nightmare. Oh my God. Now, on May 2nd, the officials end up notifying the World Health Organization that there was a cluster of severe illness linked to this ship. And at that point, they've already been 3 unalive. 1 person at this point is still critically ill. And others are starting to feel something. And in South Africa, 7 more people that we know right now on this ship are starting to show symptoms. So, is it possible they just picked up a cold? I don't think so. 3 people done been alive. 1's over there in Johannesburg and South Africa. They've got to get this ship moving somewhere because if they don't, I mean, how are they going to get them help? I know that one country, one country sent 2 doctors and a nurse and a research assistant out there. I was trying to think. It can't. The ship can't properly treat them. So I know the officials are trying to get them into hospitals, but that's going to be really, really complicated because most countries that are involved, because there's a lot of people in there from the UK, from Germany, the Netherlands, you know, from Africa and all that. They're all over the place. Cape Verde, that was Cape Verde, did allow a small medical team to go on board the ship. It had 2 doctors, a nurse, and a lab technician. That's what it was. And I think they're more or less set over there just to find out what's going on. What's the assessment over here? I don't know. I know I look rough. Please do not make fun. This is news, though. Breaking news. So breaking news don't count when there's breaking news. And I don't like that 40 to 50% fatality rate. And I do feel for these people on the ship, though. I can't imagine how just utterly helpless they feel. Maybe they can sit on a balcony. I know, get some fresh air. I don't know. Draw. This be a good time to write the book. I don't know. Catch up on your... Oh, my God, I don't know. It's just how fast this stuff really spreads. It goes from person to person to person. I mean, the Canary Islands just don't have a proper medical idea. Now, officially, the WHO is saying that it is generally low risk for, I don't know, most of the public, but let's maintain the right because it's being contained on the ship. So when you let these people off, the ship, what happens? The incubation period is at least 5 weeks. So, can these people stay on here for 5 weeks from now to make sure that they don't spread it? I mean, what's 5 weeks to save humanity here? Humanity. Well, what's 5 weeks, man? I'd do it. I'd wait it out. So the last thing that I've heard about this, though, was that they were waiting for the test to come back to see if it was that strain for sure of the Hunter virus, because they know that one more man has come unalive, and it had hurt it has really put a strain on his system. So if this is the one that transfers from person to person, this is going to be like, you're it. I mean, it's going to be like, we should make a horror movie called You're It. So I am so sorry to hear about this, though. So I got to ask you, what's your opinion on this? Should they dock? Should they not? I'm going to say, no. No, you should not dock. I think from this point on, everybody should wait 5 weeks before they get off that boat, and then they are thoroughly looked at with blood tests, DNA tests, whatever test they got to run on it, because we just, no. I know. I mean, just be very careful. And when you call people, they're like, oh, it's okay, it's no big deal. No. Because if you vacuum it up, it goes in the air. So, I know I heard this guy tell us somewhere, I got to find it, where the scientist guy is saying, hey, give me a second, this is very important. The scientist guy was saying, if you see droppings around your house, because, if you live in the country, you live anywhere in the woods, you're going to have a rat. I don't care who you are. Not in your house, but if you have it outside, you don't want to get up in the air, so try your best. Do not vacuum it, because it just spreads in the world out there in the air. So can we say, protect them, almighty universe and Lord and all gods of creations, and be with them, but please be with them for 5 extra weeks before you bring them back home. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Lots of love. I hope this was educational purposes only, and this is not alleged, because you can go on the website and see this, and the news and see this. So why aren't they telling us about this? Why is this not everywhere? I mean, is it because of worldwide effect? I don't know. But all I can think of is, hail to the no, stay on that boat, because we cannot allow our young and our elderly and ourselves to get reinfected where it just don't stop. We do not need to plague back over here. There's no vampires to bring us back. Anyway, hi, my name is Diane from Spells and Bells, and if you're on YT, it is DYAN for True Crime. And again, I have to apologize for the way I look, but I was up cleaning the house, getting things ready. I made my bed, I did everything, and then I thought I would sit here and bring this to y'all's attention. So, Everybody, have a good afternoon. Thank you for watching. And as always, I will see you for Tuesday night live time. Was it live time crime at night on Tuesdays?